This sport has been sponsored by King's Hawaiian Sliders. San Diego State back tonight on the road, taking on Air Force, who brings in a record of 3-19. They're big favorites in that one. Our coverage gets going at 5 o'clock with John Schaefer on the Fletch. Gets you going at 4 o'clock on pregame, and then you got the Super Bowl on Sunday. Seahawks, Patriots. Seahawks open as 3.5-point favorites, been bet up to 4.5, holding steady there. Point total set at 45.5. That gets going at 3:30. This report has been presented by King's Hawaiian Sliders.
The wait is almost over. We're just days away from the battle for the Lombardi. Seahawks.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
Patriots.
The Patriots will spill off their sideline in the snow in a celebration a mile high. They are headed to Santa Clara.
Getting you ready with all the insight you need for Sunday Showdown. Live from KNB BISTRO, 6380 Del Cerro Boulevard.
Live on the air.
With pizza, Aztecs basketball tickets, and more. Now, it's time to get into the Fletch Zone.
Going on a Friday. What's going on, everybody? Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. John Schaefer, Jonathan Rifkind, actually, going to take over then. Thank you to everybody who showed up at KNB Bistro today. We are live all 2 hours of the show today. Be at KNB Bistro in Del Cerro, just off the 8 freeway. Get off on College Avenue. You'll be right here. Great spot to have lunch, have a beer, have a burger. Swing on by. We'd love to see you today. And we got an open mic. So anybody who wants to swing by, give us your best sports take, give us your best Super Bowl bet, you are more than welcome to come sit on the couch. Sammy Long, what's going on?
Doing great, man. It's awesome to be here. Look at all these great people that showed up. Means the world, and ready to get it going.
Ready to get it going, indeed. We got the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday today. We've saved everything for 2 weeks now to tell you what we think about this game. And I will say, I made a pick that I didn't expect to make this morning. When we were doing picks on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, when we were here earlier today, I ended up going with the Patriots. I'm still not really sure what that's all about.
I thought you were going to go Patriots all week because you can't, in your heart, root for the Seahawks as a San Francisco 49er fan.
I mean, betting is one thing, thinking is the other thing, and I do feel like the Seahawks are the better team coming into today, but then Lucy, the big game goat, picked the Patriots, and I kind of feel like that's where I'm leaning to, especially plus 4.5. I am kind of leaning Patriots at this point, and I don't exactly know why I think that. I do think Sam Darnold's going to throw some interceptions. I do think that both teams have elite defenses. All of the last 2 weeks, I've been thinking the Seahawks are going to win, but I'm pretty damn close to going Patriots money line.
Well, I see it in a matchup where it is tough because you don't have a lot of data on either team.
Right.
We've talked about the Patriots a lot of their road to the playoffs. Play the Chargers, no offensive line. Play Houston with massive injuries along their left tackle, star receiver, running back, tight end. And then you beat a Broncos team without their quarterback. So there's a lot of kind of negativity around New England going into the game. And then Seattle's road to the Super Bowl, we've rarely seen where they play all division teams. You play a division team in the Niners the last week of the year, then you play them in the divisional round, and then you play the Rams in the NFC title game. So it is like, who do you trust more? Drake May, Sam Darnold. There's a lot going on in this game. There's a lot of unknown. So I'm with you. If you are on a betting side, taking the points in a game where I don't really know where there's massive edges either way, I think is a smart play.
I would also say this. I do think the Seattle Seahawks are more than 4.5 points better than the New England Patriots as a roster, as experience, as a defense this year that has been brutal in the NFC. But the fact that Vegas has kept it close is kind of leaning me towards the Patriots this year. Like, it feels like they might know something that we don't. We will break down this matchup all show long today. We'll get into the defenses for both these squads and the quarterbacks of both of these squads. We'll also check in with Steve Hartman, the one and only. I'm surprised he's not here, if I'm being completely honest. I thought he might make it down.
He said he wants us to drink beers for him today. That's what he told me about 10 minutes ago.
We could probably make that happen as well. I will say the keyword has been told to me 4 times today, Sammy. I've not purchased a single beer, but I know I owe one over there. I know I owe one to Rich. I know I owe one to our buddy Jeremy, who already left, but he was the first guy to come up today and say Josh Allen.
I'm in on that too. Come down and say the keyword, Josh Allen PR team. And by the way, very fitting after the MVP vote last night, which we will be getting into a little bit later, but very fitting Josh Allen PR team.
It's more fitting who didn't get as many votes as I thought he would get. We'll get into that in just a little bit. Right now, it is time for the big three. So usually I say Sammy smash it. Today, the one and only Brent Sperry back in studio is going to be the one smashing things. But we'll get to the big three here of hour number one. If you want to watch the show, we are live on YouTube today. You can check us out at San Diego Sports 760. Text line is open, 70470. Start your message with the word team. Brent, if you would, please go ahead and smash it.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? I mean, coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big Three.
Again, we are out and about today, so if you want, come on out to Del Cerro, KNB BISTRO, have lunch, have a beer, talk some sports. We'd love to see you. Get your butts down here to KNB BISTRO. Sammy, where are we going?
All right, we're gonna start with the NFL. So let's go to the Super Bowl. Is Drake May playing with house money on Sunday, regardless of the outcome?
I do think so. Look, it's his second year. I would honestly almost call this his first year because it's a brand new head coach. It's a brand new system. And he's taken them way beyond what we all thought they could. I understand that the schedule was easy. The playoff schedule was easy. At this point, the Patriots are kind of playing with house money. And look, we've seen massive performances from Drake May this year. We were just talking about Josh Allen. He went head-to-head with them in Buffalo and came out the winner, right? They won that game in Buffalo.
Yes, early on in the year, yep.
And he played fantastic. Drake May has had big performances this year. I understand the house money argument. I also think he's just been good, and maybe he gets downgraded because of the schedule that he played. But, yeah, he's proven everything we need to know about Drake May. He's a 10-year starter in this league.
Yeah, I'm not going to say Drake May. I think Drake May is playing with house money because at the end of the day, even if they lose by 30 in this game, which I don't think is going to happen, but let's just say it does, you're still looking at, even though a very favorable path to the Super Bowl, he's going to be 3-1 as a starter in the playoffs, and he's going to be going into his third year, and people are going to be really excited about Patriot football going into next year. But I think the Patriots, though, as a whole, if they don't show out in this game, now, they don't have to just win. If they lose a close one, I think they're going to earn respect. But if they get blown out, which a lot of people are picking this week, a lot of people are on the Seahawks side and think it's not even going to be particularly close. If that's the case, then I think there's major questions about they played the easiest schedule in 26 years statistically in the regular season, easy playoff path. I mean, it's their division's going to be easy for years to come because it's not like the Jets are any better and Miami's going through a bit of a rebuild, but you got to expect Josh Allen and company will be back there towards the top of the division. So I think the Patriots are not playing with house money, but Drake May specifically is.
All right, who next?
All right, so Dan Orlovsky made some comments on ESPN earlier this week about the Dallas Cowboys. He said, I believe that Dallas is starting a brand new Super Bowl window. Now, as you can imagine, Stephen A. Smith was not thrilled with this as a Dallas Cowboy hater. Do you agree with Dan Orlovsky's comments, or do you think that they're ridiculous?
ESPN. This felt like one of the most fabricated takes I've ever seen in my life. Dan Orlovsky, dude, you give him credit. He is strong in what he says, but I do think this was very much, hey, what can we get out there to get Stephen A. Smith to go viral with his reaction on the other side? This seems outrageous to me. What have the Cowboys actually done in the last decade to make you think that a Super Bowl window is opening up? Because I feel like they've gotten worse as Dak Prescott has gotten better. This defense is more like 2 or 3 years away from getting ready to compete for a Super Bowl. Maybe the offense is there now. We'll see what happens with George Pickens this offseason. But this seems like Dan Orlovsky was literally asked by the producers, what can you say out loud so we can get a 90-second TikTok that's going to be Stephen A. Smith reacting and we'll get 100 million views during Super Bowl week? That's all this was to me.
So I agree with everything you just said, 100%. I actually agree with him. I give Jerry Jones a lot of crap, and there's rightfully so. I think Jerry Jones has not always been the best owner. He has certainly not handled contract situations the right way. The whole Micah Parsons trying to meet with him without an agent. Who knows if that happens again this year with George Pickens being a free agent. But if you look at what Dallas did, they weren't winning with Micah Parsons. And it's not that it's Micah Parsons' fault, but when you're paying Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons all the money, then you can't fill out a defense. So I got to give him credit for actually making that move, even though it wasn't the, quote, popular move, and he knew he was going to get eviscerated for months on end. I think we forgot about how good Dak Prescott is coming off the injury where he was out for the season all of last year. Dak Prescott, I believe, still can be a franchise quarterback. We'll see if Pickens comes back. But Quinnen Williams kind of rebuilding that defense. I got to give Schottenheimer a little credit. Like, you and I both bashed him when he was hired, and I'm not going to pretend like I didn't because I thought it was kind of a whatever hire, but I thought he was kind of impressive. So I'm not saying they're a favorite, but I do think they are a team to be reckoned with in the NFC next year.
All right, we got one more we can squeeze in here.
All right, yeah, we can go to the Padres and then maybe get into this a little bit on the other side. So per Dennis Lynn, Padres expected, they met with Joe Lacob last week, meeting with all these potential buyers of the team, might be sold by the end of the month. So reaction to that, does that excite you? Are you nervous? Do you think that this creates an immediate effect for this season?
I would pump the brakes on this a little bit, just because it takes a lot of time to sell a sports team, and there's lots of lawyers and there's lots of votes that have to happen among other Major League Baseball owners. I would pump the brakes a little bit on this. However, the timeline does seem to be accelerated from the Padres' point of view. I also don't know when the last time a team was sold in season was, but I kind of feel like that's where we're heading, because you think about what they've done over the last 2 weeks with Sheil Seidler news coming down, that they've settled the majority of the lawsuits between her and the brothers. You think about the fact that Joe Lacob's name even got brought up as having been in San Diego recently, and then 5 hours later, we get 2 more names that have come out. Clearly, the Padres were trying to start a bidding war. I think the Seidler bros want out before Major League Baseball goes to some sort of lockout. So it would not surprise me at all if this happens a lot sooner than any of us expected. Remember, we had Coach on earlier this week, and I asked him if the Padres are under Seidler control by the time the season starts, and he kind of said the same thing I said, which is, no, you got so much to get through, so many things to do. I do think the Padres are trying to accelerate this thing. I wouldn't be surprised at all if by April there's a new name attached to this team.
I like your point about the bidding war, and I think that's a real thing here, because I think that's why everyone was so down on the Padres when this came out last year. Sheil Seidler, the lawsuit against the brothers, and then you have them coming out potentially selling or looking at selling the team, and then you go, all the odds are stacked against them. It's hard to sell a team in general. You got to find a buyer. You got to get approved by all the other MLB owners. And with the lockout looming, you wonder if the market's going to be depressed. Are people looking to buy a team when the first year they own the team, there might not be baseball? So we'll see, but I like the Padres are certainly putting pressure on this thing. I like that they're driving up a little bit of a bidding war. Everyone who's been interested, at least in regards to their net worth, has the cachet to make some serious moves. And I'm sure other MLB owners would like for a team to be competing and spending with the Dodgers in the NL West. So there's not just a team that's dominating in the NL, getting to the NL West division crown every year. So I'm excited about it. I hope that I'm kind of glad it's moving fast and not just dragging out over years on end.
The cachet or the straight cash, homie, because that's what it's going to take. Padres, the money is going up for them. It's they're predicted to be valued around $1.95 billion, but not quite. It's going to be more like $2.6, $2.7 billion by the time someone actually buys this team. And for me, I'm still hoping it's Dan Friedkin, man, not just because he has a cool name, but because that dude's worth $10 billion. And if you want to talk about somebody who has FU money when it comes to owning a sports team and can just kind of throw stuff around, Dan Friedkin's the guy. And I listened to Darren Smith talk about this actually a couple days ago, and he said what he's done with the football clubs, the soccer teams that he purchased out in Europe, was turn around 2 teams on the brink of disaster. And remember, we said that about Joe Lacob, how he brought the Warriors back from almost total disaster with where they were in the late 90s.
They were an irrelevant franchise and turned them into a dynasty.
Yeah, and if someone can come in and do that with the Padres, maybe Dan Friedkin's that dude. I would love to see it. All right, it's San Diego Sports 760. We're going to take a quick break here. We are at KNB BISTRO in Del Cerro. Get your booties down here. We got some fun to have here over the next couple hours, as well as some giveaways to give. So get on out to KNB Bistro. Text line is open, 70470. Start your message with team. YouTube chat open as well. Our buddy Tyler saying, good afternoon, gents. I wish I could be there. Throw 1 or 3 back for me. We will do our best, sir. I'm about ready for Coors Light, if I'm being honest. It's San Diego Sports 760. Take a quick break here, live on the iHeartRadio app. Hey, it's San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. Jonathan Rifkin going to be filling in for John Schaefer, who's out. Getting close to being at the Air Force Academy, I think, at Clune Arena. He's going to be doing the game tomorrow night here on San Diego Sports 760. But we also have 13 chances for you to win $1,000 every single weekday with the Bonus Bucks giveaway every hour from 6 to 6. Listen for the keyword, enter it at sportssd.com. Your next chance to win $1,000 coming up at 1 o'clock today. So make sure you're listening. And hey, if you're not doing anything, if you're on the road, if you're ready for a lunch break, swing on by to KNB BISTRO. We are here in Del Cerro for the rest of the day, getting you ready for the big game. In fact, our buddy Sammy.
Yes, my guy.
Just met him. Maybe the best sportscaster Mexico City has ever had in its history, was doing sports down there back in the 90s. He's up here now. And Sammy, we appreciate the heck out of you for coming. Thank you for being here. Our buddy Rich here as well. Tim and his lovely wife Alicia are here as well as the Long family.
Yes, the Long family. Grandma and Grandpa came by. My mom, so means the world they came by. But yeah, it's awesome, man. We got a lot of love shown out here.
Text from the 913 saying, Fletch, Sammy, sorry I couldn't stay all the way through your show too. Had so much fun from 5:45 through 11. Jeremy opened this place up with us today.
Jeremy, the man. I got to see Jeremy a couple weeks ago. So,
Jeremy saw me at my worst, I think, because we were going through some tech issues this morning. I was sweating. It was a whole thing. But thank you for coming this morning, Jeremy. It was great to see you, man. I think Rich is our only survivor who was here this morning also.
Hell yeah,
and he's still going strong. Is that the same beer you had at 6 o'clock this morning? Okay, good.
Good man.
Get on down here. We'd love to see you, hang out with you, have a burger or two as well. We got some free pizza coming in a little bit, by the way. So get on down, have some lunch with us. All right, Sammy, as we get ready for the Super Bowl, some other stuff going on also. We were just talking about it. But the Padres, Dennis Lin dropped a little bit of a bomb yesterday in The Athletic. I was not expecting this one from the Padres, if I'm being honest. I was expecting we get some maybe more names coming through in the bidding war, a couple more billionaires who want to throw their hat on the ring. But I did not expect Dennis Lin to say the Padres are ready to be sold potentially by the end of February, which is exactly what he said in his article yesterday. And little shocking to me. These things take time. Man, I thought it would take a little bit longer, but it does sound like the Seidler brothers are ready to just get this thing done and over with and move out of San Diego as quickly as possible, which feels a little stinging and also a little, yeah, all right, if you're done with it, just move on with it anyways.
Well, that's my thing. And I know we differed a little bit earlier on this week about that, but I'm if they really aren't in the let's make the Padres a World Series winner and championship contender, then sell them. Like because Peter obviously had a vision for this team, and did every move Peter made work out? No, but he swung for the fences literally and was constantly spending money and trying to compete with the Dodgers and the Mets and the Yankees and teams that have blank checkbooks. So he deserves all the credit in the world for that. John really hasn't. And John we've heard from him like 3 times, and one of those was a letter saying they were going to sell the team. So if he's not invested in this, if he's not invested in being the owner of the San Diego Padres, then sell it to someone who is, because all the names, Friedkin and Lacob and all the other guys that have been linked. Feliciano.
That's the best name.
Yes. Feliciano certainly is the best name. Is obviously interested in making the Padres, per all indications, a legit contender. So I'm with, if it's going to accelerate the process, then do it.
So bids are expected to be accepted by the end of February. We'll see when that means the actual sale is going to happen. The fear is that somebody comes in and treats this as a bank, which would be bad. And that is what the Pittsburgh Pirates have done for decades now. That's what the Oakland A's did for as long as they were in Oakland. But the fear is somebody comes in and puts in minimum effort to the team, puts in minimum finances to the team, and just collects a paycheck every year based on television, based on rev share around Major League Baseball. The hope is that somebody comes in here and continues exactly what Peter was doing, and that's spending recklessly, if we're being honest, because the Padres can't afford to spend like the Dodgers do. They can't afford to spend like the Mets do, but Peter did it anyways. And because Peter had an attitude about it, like whatever it takes to win a World Series, that's what I'm going to do. And that's a dime a dozen. That is once in a generation, one in a million opportunity to have an owner like that. San Diego has certainly never seen that before. But if they can somehow strike gold, man, and I don't know who it's going to be, if they can somehow strike gold and find someone who's 75% of what Peter Seidler is, that is a huge win for the city. That is a huge win for the next 20 years. And Sammy, in that case, you would be 100% right that the Seidler family needs to get rid of this thing immediately.
Well, and I haven't given John Seidler a lot of praise, but if they are accelerating this thing because the lockout's likely coming next year, and per indication, why they're having a lockout is they want to curtail the Dodgers spending and they want to put a salary cap on this thing. So if the reason they're accelerating the process, the Dodgers are getting in all these contracts right now because at the end of the day, they're not going to make Shohei Ohtani redo his contract or Kyle Tucker or go to Edwin Diaz. All the guys that are on the Dodgers, yes, we want a salary cap. They're not going anywhere. They legally cannot change these contracts. So if they're trying to sell this thing fast, so maybe the Padres can get in a few of their contracts of their own before the rules get flipped, that might be the best thing that John Seidler ever did for the city.
It is the shadiest thing ever that the Dodgers are doing right now, and it's completely within the law. But it is, it's absolutely getting grandfathered into whatever comes next in Major League Baseball. I'd be shocked to see if anything changes with what the Dodgers are actually doing right now. And it is crazy that Shohei Ohtani, every dime he's going to make on this Dodgers contract, the Dodgers essentially get for free because it's all been sitting in escrow, growing, and they're going to be able to just pay out the profit of what they're already making while it's in a bank account. Oh, the rich get richer as we go. San Diego Sports 760, Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long. We're live at KNB Bistro today. Come on and join us. They got excellent food here, excellent drinks here. Rich, how's that beer doing, my friend? Awesome, as we know. Sammy and I are going to get going here with a couple as well. First 5 people to say the secret code phrase in Sammy Long's ear, you're getting a beer courtesy of me and Sammy. We will buy it for you. Real quickly, before we get out here, long shots last night. Some of us got screwed. Some of us succeeded. It was a winner, technically.
I told you the Magic they beat them by like 30.
Yes.
Okay. Charlotte Hornets on the money line plus 4.5 hit, and the Lakers hit the over if you had it at 233.5.
Okay. Did you actually say 233.5?
I did. ESPN Bet had it at 233.5. Thank you, Rich.
He actually said 233.5.
Thank you, Rich. If you were delayed, maybe you were busy and you got it at 235.5.
I did it live on air.
I don't know what app you're using, but the rest of us in San Diego had it at 233.5. So I thank you. I thank you, Rui Hachimura, for a last-second dunk for the backdoor cover.
It's also crazy that I had it at 235.5 and it missed. That's the worst beat ever.
I don't know what kind of promotion
was the final score. Was it 234?
Yes.
So I missed by 1 point.
Yes.
This is outrageous.
It was the backdoor cover of a lifetime. They hit it with 8 seconds to go.
How did we have different odds? I thought we used the same app.
Rich and I have different means of gambling.
Well, there's going to be a new one at 12:45. Somehow I'm the only person who didn't win money yesterday on Sammy's long shots, but there's always today, I guess. It's San Diego Sports 760. Take a quick break here. Swing on by KNB Bistro in Del Cerro. We'll have a new long shots coming up at 12:45. But coming up next, MVP was handed out last night. Defensive Player of the Year. Is there some controversy in the vote? We'll tell you what it is on the other side. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
This sport is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Right now, per ESPN, Luka, after getting hurt last night in the Lakers game against the Sixers, nothing major. The Lakers have optimism. Doncic won't be sidelined for long. They'll be back tomorrow taking on the Golden State Warriors in Los Angeles. San Diego State back tomorrow night, taking on Air Force at 5 o'clock. San Diego State big favorites in that one. Fletch will get you going pregame starting at 4, and Schaefer will get you in the call starting at 5. On San Diego Sports 760. The Super Bowl gets going Sunday at 3:30. Patriots 4.5-point dogs in this one. Point total set at 45.5. This report has been sponsored by Mattress Firm.
San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. Jonathan Rifkin going to be filling in for John Schaefer once we get off the air. Chafee already out. Getting ready for the Air Force Academy, which is coming up tomorrow night. Clune Arena, 5 o'clock tip time, 4 o'clock pregame. How about Matthew Stafford at this point in his career? Maybe towards the end, but he said he's coming back next year. Wins his first career MVP at the NFL Awards last night. Myles Garrett wins Defensive Player of the Year. Christian McCaffrey wins Comeback Player of the Year. Well deserved.
Your boy.
After the season he had. It was well deserved after the season
I'm not hating on it.
Okay. We love Christian McCaffrey here. He defied the electric plant odds this year and he made his way through the entire season healthy. He did give his wife a ton of credit last night, and that camera loved his wife last night. Did you notice that?
Yes. The NFL honors, they were definitely crowd surfing in that one.
Can I tell you a quick story about Christian McCaffrey's wife?
Let's hear it.
So when he was with the Carolina Panthers, Judson Richards and I were going to Miami for Super Bowl week. Like this week, we were doing Radio Row there. And on our plane ride out there in first class, Sammy, I swear, was the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life, other than my wife.
I was about to say,
other than my
right
wife.
there.
And Judson and I both, like when we were getting on the plane, we're like, who in the world is that woman? Because she is stunning. Everything on her face is perfect. And then sitting right next to her, we didn't even notice, was Christian McCaffrey. It was Olivia Culpo.
Wow, you didn't even notice your boy.
Well, he was on the Panthers at the time. He wasn't a Niner yet. But it was just funny that both of us walking by noticed her, did not notice Christian McCaffrey, and the rest is history. But she was on TV all night last night as Christian McCaffrey won Comeback Player of the Year. But Matthew Stafford gets the MVP. He beats out Drake May. But there were a couple receiving votes in the MVP category that I know have a lot of people hot and bothered today. So Josh Allen gets 2 votes. Sammy, are you upset about that one?
Let's read the rest of them before we get to that.
Justin Herbert gets a vote for MVP. And that one is kind of stunning to me that Justin Herbert, who, yes, he was amazing this year, and in spite of having a completely hurt offensive line, in spite of having some maybe coaching woes towards the end of the year, Justin Herbert played well, but did he play MVP well? I don't know that one makes a whole lot of sense to me.
Okay, this is I was thinking about this a lot last night. Now, people are going to go, Sammy, you hate Josh Allen. No, I don't hate Josh Allen. Josh Allen, if you voted for Josh,
you might not hate Josh Allen. You do hate on Josh Allen.
No, I hate the media's excuses they give for Josh Allen. That is what frustrates me, that he doesn't give for other quarterbacks. But that's besides the point. Anyway, if you are looking at most valuable player to their team, then I understand why you would vote for Josh Allen or Justin Herbert. Because Josh Allen, to be fair to him, had a terrible receiving core. Khalil Shakir was the best receiver he had going for him. He was the only reason that team was even in remote contention. So I understand if that's the logic of who is the most valuable player to their team, I understand the Josh Allen vote. I also understand the Herbert vote because Herbert had an even worse offensive line, dealt with injuries all over the place, and Justin Herbert was an MVP frontrunner through the first month of the season when they were 3-0 against the Chiefs, Broncos, and Raiders. My problem is this. How do you vote for Josh? Well, we know it's a season award. It's that season. Not who's the best player in the NFL. It's that season. When Drake May beats Josh Allen in his own division, and is number one in his own division, has a better record than him, and yes, I know the schedule's easy, how are you voting for Josh Allen over him? And Herbert as well over Matthew Stafford, who was unbelievable for the entire year, had the Rams as one of the Super Bowl favorites. It's a shame that Stafford gets 24 votes, May gets 23, Herbert gets 1, and Allen gets 2. So those 3 people could have swung it the other way. This is not like it was 40 for Stafford and a couple, I wouldn't care. But the fact that these people voted for Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, we could have had a completely different MVP. And I want to make it like my point. I think it should have been Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
So I like what happened, but I understand if I'm a Drake May fan today going, wait, really? Like, how did the guy who I beat in the division steal 2 votes from me, and Justin Herbert, who didn't win a division either in the AFC West, get votes, and I'm out of luck?
So here's how it broke down. Matthew Stafford, they do it on a point system. You get, every voter gets a 10 vote, a 5 vote, a 3 vote, a 2 vote, a 1 vote. 10 points is the first place vote. Matthew Stafford ended up with 24 of the first place votes, 366 total points. Drake May, 23 of the first place votes, 361 points. Josh Allen, 2 first place votes, like you just said, 91 total points. And then Christian McCaffrey and Trevor Lawrence didn't get any first place votes, and Justin Herbert got 1. But McCaffrey and Lawrence both finished above Herbert. So it's literally one person voting for Josh Allen, who maybe would have voted Drake May, who ended up swinging the whole thing. So Matthew Stafford wins it, probably deserved, but you could make an argument definitely for Drake May.
And I would say, like, if I was picking those 4 players in a draft to start my team, I would pick Josh Allen 1 and Herbert 2. So I don't fault people for voting for them, in the sense of, I get why they thought they were maybe the most valuable player that year to their team, but we all know that's not the award. It's who had the best season. If that's the rationale, why is Jonathan Taylor, who was one of the most dominant players of the entire season,
for the first 7 weeks?
I'd say a little bit later than that. I mean, I think in about week 12, when the Colts started falling off after they lost to the Chiefs in that overtime game and they went on that losing streak.
It always comes back to Chiefs.
It's
always
what happened.
comes back to
we
Chiefs.
ruin a lot of streaks. That's usually what the Chiefs do.
Including their own playoff streak.
Listen, we had to make it fun for everyone this year. There's a reason why there's a lack of buzz around the Super Bowl, because Patrick and Travis aren't there. It's okay. I know people don't want to admit it, but we'll be back next year.
Sure. Of course you will. 1 draft pick later, they're going to be fine. 858 texting into the show today saying, what up? Hope it's a vibe down there. Wish I could have made it to KNB. Did y'all see? Never mind. Yes, we did see that. 858. That's from our buddy Tyson. 858.
That was a crazy moment.
Drewski, come on, man. 858, what media excuses are being made for Josh Allen, and what excuses are they making exactly? Also, I agree 100%. If Allen played May's schedule, you would have used it against him and not Drake May. That feels like it's directed right at Sammy.
Yes.
So
No. Josh Allen is an unbelievable player. This is our Bills fan.
yeah, I never hear people making excuses for Josh Allen. Sammy just says people make excuses.
People make excuses for Josh Allen in terms of his playoff record. Lamar Jackson gets eviscerated.
I make excuses for Josh Allen. They're well-earned excuses.
I know you do. Lamar Jackson gets eviscerated. Justin Herbert gets eviscerated. Your boy, Brock Purdy, gets eviscerated.
Yeah, he really does. He doesn't deserve that, guys. Be cool.
And Jalen Hurts, who's won a Super Bowl, gets eviscerated for how he played against the Niners. Josh Allen's a phenomenal player. He is. He's unbelievable. And I get that the voting ends after the regular season, but you can't sit here and tell me that Josh Allen or Justin Herbert deserved an MVP this year. I mean, how could you say that over Drake May or Matthew Stafford?
They don't.
Like what? When May beats him in his own division, has a better record than him as a second-year starter after the team went 4-13 the year before. How are you making a case that Josh Allen deserves the MVP over him?
He doesn't. Now, 858, the vibe is great down here. KNB Bistro. Pizzas are on their way, everybody, so get ready for pizzas. There's also wings here. If you want to swing on by, KNB Bistro, right off the 8 freeway in Del Cerro. You can make it here by the end of the show today. We'd love to have you. Steve Hartman is coming on at 1:30. We got some stuff to do as well, including long shots coming up next. Now, apparently, I'm the only person who didn't make money on long shots last night. We'll see if we can make some money today. Is this the biggest long shots ever? Super Bowl weekend?
This will be the biggest unit put on that. All my gamblers know what that is. We don't unit shame here on Fletch and Sandy.
Never.
We don't unit shame.
But I'm emptying the balance
bets,
today.
$200, whatever you want to do. We don't unit shame. This is Super Bowl. Isn't there like a record? Like how many billions of dollars supposed to be bet this weekend? It's like a record for a Super Bowl ever. So
I don't know how much money is expected to bet on the Super Bowl.
If you're not a Seahawks fan, if you're not a Patriot fan, and then the best part is if the parlay sells in the first half, you can hit the what's the first song for Bad Bunny in the second at halftime show. You could hit what's the color of the Gatorade bath after the game. There's a lot to go in the Super Bowl.
Dude, do you realize with the money being bet on the Super Bowl this year, we could buy the Padres 10 times? $20.2 billion will be spent on the Super Bowl this year, is the projection.
Right. Everyone wants a little bit of action on the game. Everyone's going to a Super Bowl party.
We could buy the Padres 10 times if we all just pooled our money together.
You know why this is? And I love Super Bowl squares.
Tell me.
But people get tired of putting a bunch of money into Super Bowl squares where they have no It's a random luck of the draw. It's whatever numbers you get on the side. So instead of that, you can put your own money on the game, which what you think is going to happen.
This is crazy.
Remember when people said people wouldn't want to gamble? Remember when that was a thing?
Yeah, that
before
was
it was legal.
That was a thing. We should all just pull our money together and buy the Padres. That'd be pretty cool. Can we all sit in Petco Park if we split this thing? 20,000 ways? We could probably do that.
Freakin's net worth is half of what will be bet on the Super Bowl.
That's crazy. I didn't even know casinos have this much money to pay out one way or the other. I guess they're expecting it to balance itself out. All right, it's San Diego Sports 760. We're going to put our biggest unit ever on long shots coming up next. San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock. Jonathan Rifkin going to be taking over then. San Diego State Hoops back on the road tomorrow night. They got the Air Force Academy. Pregame coverage gets going at 4 o'clock. John Schaefer will take over then for the tip-off between the Aztecs and the Air Force Falcons. You can listen right here on your home for San Diego State basketball and football, San Diego Sports 760. For those of you in attendance here today, we do have a pair of tickets to give away for the Aztecs' next home game. They're taking on Grand Canyon University at Viejas Arena next Saturday, Valentine's Day, if you want a date night. So if you're here and in person, come fill out a little piece of paper here, put it in the pot. We'll pick a winner by the end of the show here today. And if you're wondering, where are you guys? Where can I win these tickets? We're at KNB BISTRO in Del Cerro, right off the 8 freeway, exit at College. You'll be right here in the same parking lot as the Windmill Farms. We got some pizzas coming out in just a little bit. And I have been informed we will be invaded by the Society guys coming up in just a little bit.
Casey's coming through.
Some of the best beer in San Diego at Society, man, which is on sale here at KNB Bistro.
Our boy Jay Sills swung by.
How we doing, Jay Sills? Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here. We love you. Appreciate you being here. All right, this is the time of show where we do something called long shots. Apparently, Sammy had a winner last night, although it didn't win on my phone.
858 said, I parlayed the Orlando spread with Philadelphia LA over, and then at half when the Lakers were down 12, hit LA money line. 858's eating good this weekend.
858 does this thing where he takes some of Sammy's long shots and then mixes it with his own wisdom.
And that's fine. He can do some tweaks.
And is winning at an unreal clip over the last year. It is fun to see that from the 858. But with that being said, Sammy, you ready to make us some money?
Yes, sir.
Brent, if you would, please go ahead.
You looking for some luck? Want to win big? Gotta play big.
You are so money, and you don't even know it.
Time to take a chance
Pay that man his money.
with long shots.
You're not going to pick the actual game right now, are you? Are we doing that at the
No,
end
we're
of the
doing that
show?
at the end. We're doing that at the end.
Okay, these are props?
These are player prop bets. So you have a little action within the game. All right.
I like it.
Stephon Diggs, more than 4.5 receptions. I would not have done this 2 days ago. Nick Emanwari, star young safety, out. He's a rookie, actually, for the Seahawks. He's been fantastic. The problem is he tweaked his ankle on Wednesday. They say he's going to play, but his sole job is to get after Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs, he's been here, not been in the Super Bowl before, but he's been in some big moments before in big playoff games with Buffalo. More than 4.5 receptions. I think they're going to have to try to get the ball out of his hand. And remember, Drake May has that shoulder problem. No one's talking about that. They say he's fine, he's good. Mike Vrabel, all the PR comments. Well, he wasn't throwing a football last week. He said himself he'll first throw a football normally since the game against Denver on Monday morning. So I'm not really trusting Drake May to be taking this thing downfield. I like Diggs, quick hitting passing, more than 4.5 receptions, testing and worry on that ankle. All right, Ramondre Stevenson, more than 14.5 rush attempts. Now, I know people will be nervous with this one because TreVeyon Henderson's an excellent running back, but TreVeyon Henderson is going to be, I think, large part of the screen game. This pass rush for Seattle is unbelievable. Leonard Williams, Mike McDonald, one of the best blitzing teams in the NFL. He was that with Baltimore, and now he has some real great pass rushers on that side of the ball. If New England's going to stay in this game, they have to attack the middle of the defense. Ramondre Stevenson is that back. TreVeyon Henderson is more of a change of pace, hits you with a quick kind of off-speed thing. Ramondre Stevenson is the bruising back that's going to take a lot of these carries. More than 14.5 rushing attempts. I think that's going to be a heavy dose of Stevenson early, and I think the game is going to be close, so it's not going to get out of hand to where it's going to take the running game out of it. Final pick, Rashid Shaheed, more than 31.5 rush and receiving yards. Fletch, you know, this is a Niner fan. You pulled out the McCaffrey, Jawan Jennings throw down the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if you blocked that game out of your memories, but
yeah,
it was a great play. In the Super Bowl, there is always trick plays. Always. Oh, it usually comes in the first half. If you remember the Brady with the Eagles, he had the both in that game. They had the Philly special, and then the one where Brady caught a pass earlier in the game. Rashid Shaheed is the burner. He came over from New Orleans at the trade deadline. His unbelievable speed. We're going more than 31.5 rush and receiving yards. I think they're going to open up this defense. And Kupp and Jackson Smith and Jigba are going to be guarded by Christian Gonzalez, who's one of the best corners in all of football. He's a young player out of Oregon. But Shaheed he's going to be on he's the free. They're not going to be able to double team him. They're going to try to take JSN out of this game. That's going to open up some deep shots down the field. So more than 31.5 rush and receiving yards. I think he catches a bomb, and if not, he's so fast, they're going to get him on a reverse play early in the game. All right, to recap, Rashid Shaheed, more than 31.5 rush and receiving yards for Seattle. Ramondre Stevenson, more than 14.5 rush attempts for New England. And Stephon Diggs playing the big game, more than 4.5 receptions.
I like it. That's the big game long shots. How much are we putting on this?
Whatever you want. Again, we don't unit shame.
Use this in units, though. If you were normally one unit, whatever your combo is, whatever your trade usually is.
Well, everyone has their own units.
Right. So if it's usually one unit, what are you doing here?
I think this is like a 3 to 5 unit day.
This is a 3 to 5 unit day.
So whatever you do, triple it, or what is cinco it, whatever.
Quintuplet it.
Mike Usher's laughing over there. Mike Usher's embarrassed.
Quintuplet it. I like it.
Quintuplet it.
I've tripled it. And
Okay,
I feel
I like
pretty
it.
good about that.
I like
well done, Sammy Long. That's long shots for today. We got Steve Hartman coming up at 1:30. It's funny you put Stephon Diggs in that because I was thinking this before. So much of what Stephon Diggs has gone through kind of comes into this game. Because remember, he's one of the guys, we have this with Deebo Samuel too, where we just have a highlight reel of heartbreaking beats against them. Like, you remember Stephon Diggs was a part of the Minneapolis Miracle, and then the next game they lose. And we see Stephon Diggs staying out on the field the entire time. While who was the team that beat them that year in the NFC Championship?
It was Philly.
Was it? It was Philly. You're right.
It was the Nick Foles year.
That's right. So we see Stephon Diggs on the field in Minnesota after that game and just crying as everybody else celebrates around him. And then when he's with the Bills, the Chiefs beat them, and he's out there standing on the field alone. And now finally we get to see Stephon Diggs, what it would actually look like in a Super Bowl for Diggs. And I do think he has a big game tonight because he is someone that football means a little extra to Stephon Diggs.
And I think with Diggs, he's the guy you're going to trust in this game with Drake May being young, Kayshon Boutte being young, Travion Henderson. All these guys on New England are young and haven't been here before. Not that Diggs has played in the Super Bowl, but he's a trustworthy guy in this game. And if you think about it, Kayshon Boutte gets all the headlines. He had that unbelievable catch down the sideline against Houston, and it's really kind of come on late. That's because Stephon Diggs, they're game planning for Diggs, and it's leaving him one-on-one in this game if Eman Warrior's on him, who was unbelievable against the Rams and kind of shut down Puka Nacua a little bit early in that game. I think with the ankle, he's going to have a big one.
And the Ramondre Stevenson thing is funny because about halfway through the year, I think everybody, including Mike Vrabel, realized that they have something really special in Travion Henderson, who started the year as the backup, didn't even get used for the first 6 or 7 weeks of the season. But then as the season came to a conclusion and in the postseason, they were like, Ramondre Stevenson's the vet. He's kind of the guy that got us through the first part of the season. We're going to go back to him a little bit. I like that pick too. And what was your last one?
I had Rashid Shaheed, more than 31.5 rush and receiving yards.
I forgot because I put that name completely out of my head because he absolutely torched the 49ers. He's a burner, San Diego product. We like Rashid Shaheed, even though we don't like the team. So I like that pick as well.
So are you, because we talked about a little bit of this off air. So because you're a Niner fan, you're pulling for New England. You're one of the few people in America who are pulling for New England on Sunday.
I said it this morning on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. These might be my second and third least favorite teams in the entire NFL. It hurts, but I do think I'm rooting for New England, and I think that's where my money is going to go as well. I don't have a great read on this game. I honestly think it's going to be pretty low scoring. I'm in fear that we're in for like a 9-6 Super Bowl. So that means you should definitely bet the over because I'm wrong about these things all the time.
Everyone's picking the under.
But I am kind of nervous that we're not going to get a ton of offense in this game. So if we do get offense, I hope it's from those three guys so we all at least win a little bit of money here as Sammy's long shots ride once again. All right, hour number 2 is coming up next. By the way, if you are here in person at KNB BISTRO in Del Cerro, we got a couple of Aztecs tickets for you for the 2-14 game. That's Valentine's Day. San Diego State, Grand Canyon University. That's going to be a massive game, not just for Mountain West standings, but for San Diego State's at-large bid hopes. So if you get down here to KNB Bistro, put your name in this little bucket we have in front of us, you could win a pair of tickets to that game. We got pizzas coming up next hour. We got some beers coming up next hour. Lots of fun still to be had. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by Kings Hawaiian Sliders. San Diego State back in action tomorrow night, taking on Air Force on the road. Air Force, a record of 3-19. Aztecs currently sitting at 16-6, looking for a big win there. Schaefer gets you on the call starting at 5. Fletch gets you going pregame starting at 4. And then we got Super Bowl Sunday. On Sunday, Seahawks, Patriots. Seahawks open as 3.5-point favorites, bet up to 4.5. Point total is held each of the last 2 weeks at 45.5. That gets going at 3:30 on NBC. Nothing brings friends and family together on game day like delicious King's Hawaiian Sliders. Bring them to the big game table and be the real MVP pick. Some up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your local store. Football and King's Irresistible Hawaiian Sliders. There's nothing like it.
The wait is almost over. We're just days away from the battle for the Lombardi. Seahawks.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
Patriots.
The Patriots will spill off their sideline in the snow in a celebration a mile high. They are headed to Santa Clara.
Getting you ready with all the insight you need for Sunday Showdown. Live from KNB BISTRO, 6380 Del Cerro Boulevard.
Live on the air.
With pizza, Aztecs basketball tickets, and more. Now, it's time to get into the Fletch Zone.
It's hour number 2 here on San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock. Jonathan Rifkin going to be taking over then. If you're looking for a spot for lunch or if you're looking for a spot to hang out during the big game, KNB Bistro is the spot for you right off the 8 freeway in Del Cerro. Just take the College Avenue exit. It's an awesome spot, man. I call it the Hogwarts of liquor because of the bookshelves of liquor that they have here. And they literally have one of those old-timey ladders, Sammy, that moves around this whole place for the stuff on the top shelf that you and I cannot afford. But it is a wonderful spot, man. Come on down to KNB Bistro in Del Cerro, attached to a keg and bottle shop. Awesome restaurant as well with some great food and great service here. Thank you to Tony and Lydia Kanja.
Yo, where's Tony and Lydia at?
Tony
I haven't
had to
seen
go.
Tony K yet.
He had to go to the mothership, which is his place in El Cajon, because they're still swamped with kegandbottle.com orders. So Tony's there kind of setting up. But we hung out with Tony all morning, man. We had a great time. Lydia was here as well. This is home away from home for Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. And now for me and Sammy.
Hell yeah, dude.
We love this place.
Bro, this is like heaven in here. I mean,
I'm
this
going to
is
grab some food afterwards, too.
we got great food coming out here. All these people sitting here. And we got, a bar and a liquor store. Like, whoever invented that to combine that,
I brought my pops
Gold
here
star.
a few times, and they make excellent old fashions. That's usually the drink I get when I'm here. But we lost my dad in here because of all the exclusive
he was
booze
mesmerized by the
that
walls.
they have. So come check it out if you want to swing by and say hi. We got some pizzas coming this hour, and your opportunity to win a pair of Aztecs tickets for the 2/14 game. That's February 14th, Valentine's Day. If you want a little date night while taking in the Aztecs and the Grand Canyon University here at Viejas Arena, you can win that just by signing up on a piece of paper, throwing your name into a little bucket that we have here. All right, hour number 2, and we just got some news. First of all, on the text line, we had a 619 saying, I'm calling my shot. The Seahawks cover the over by themselves.
46 points for the Seahawks.
46-0.
Wow.
Seahawks win is what this texter is saying.
That is not a lot of love for New England.
Now, the books are terrified of this exact outcome, right? The books are saying they need a low-scoring Super Bowl or else they're liable for how much money, Sammy?
Like hundreds of, I don't have the exact number in front of me. I'll pull it up. But yes, all the books, everyone's betting the over. Now, this usually happens when Super
God,
Bowl.
I'm smashing the under. We go away from the public. That's what we do.
Well, in the Super Bowl, you think about it. People are maybe who don't watch football all year. Everyone goes to Super Bowl party, whether you like Super Bowl, maybe you're there for Bad Bunny, with the commercials, whatever it is. People want a little bit of action on the game. So it's easy. It's more fun to be rooting for overs than for people not to score. So the books are certainly liable on this. But yes, to Fletch's point, if you are looking for a side, I think with the amount of money on the over, I would smash that under.
And it feels like an inflated over, doesn't it? These two teams are not exactly known for their offense. The Seattle's offense has gotten better as the season went on. Sam Darnold had a really nice year, but these are two of the better defenses in the NFL. And the Patriots literally rode their defense all the way to a Super Bowl. It wasn't the offense that was getting them through the first couple of rounds. It was the defense. That game against Houston, how many turnovers? 5 turnovers? The defense
4 in the
forced?
first half for the Stroud threw 4 picks.
Yeah, so I don't know that I'm seeing the over in this one at all.
58.4% of the bets are on the over.
Sheesh. Usually
it's surprising to me too, because even though it's right, people are it's more fun and sprinkle a little money on the over. Did people not watch the Patriots in Broncos game? I mean, they didn't score a legit touchdown.
There was a blizzard in the second half.
Right, but the first half they weren't doing anything, and the only touchdown they scored was Jarrett Stidham throwing the ball away on the 8-yard line. So it's very surprising to me that's what that number would hold at.
We got an 858 number saying, can you read back long shots one more time? We will do that after the big three, which we'll get to here in just a second. But I've been alerted pizzas are 20 minutes out. So anyone who's here for pizza, we got the whole society squad coming in as well. Pizzas are 20 minutes out from Del Cerro Pizza and Beer, which is good pizza, man. I hope they bring one of the hot honeys because that is the best one that they have over there. But Sammy, let's get to the big three here of hour number 2, where Sammy rips through the top stories in the world of sports. Brent, if you would, please smash that button.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? I mean, coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big Three.
I do find myself thinking what version of Steve Hartman we're going to get today.
You never know. That's just the best mistake.
I know. It is. It's you're opening up a new chocolate box every time Steve comes on this show. He could be pissed. He could be happy. He could be coming off a date night. We really don't know what's going to come from Steve Hartman.
A pre-Valentine's Day Steve Hartman interview next week is going to be very spicy.
That's going to be crazy.
We got to make sure you tune in for that.
He could be saying wildly inappropriate stuff about Sammy and his family. I'm very curious to what Sammy's mom, who's here today, thought about what Steve said about their family just a couple weeks ago.
I think Steve Hartman is the only person that gets a pass.
That gets away with stuff like that?
Gets away with stuff like that.
He can't keep getting away with this.
He can't control himself.
But we have him on every Friday at 1:30, and that's not changing anytime soon. So get ready for Steve. He's coming up in about 25 minutes. Sammy, where are we going with Big 3 Hour 2?
All right, what quarterback do you trust more in this game, Drake May or Sam Darnold?
It has to be Sam Darnold, doesn't it? Like, it actually has to be Sam Darnold, but I don't feel great about saying that. When you look at what Drake May has done in big games this year, he played really well against the Buffalo Bills. And the Buffalo Bills are maybe a Josh Allen foot injury away from being in the exact position that the Patriots are in right now. But I remember that game. It was bad weather. It was in Buffalo. Drake May outdueled Josh Allen. And to do that, I understand he had an easy schedule, but to do that was something impressive. And so I'm going to say Sam Darnold steps up, but, man, I don't feel great about that. I actually said this morning my favorite bet for the Super Bowl is that both quarterbacks throw one interception.
Okay, I can see that.
I don't think quarterback wins this game, by the way. Defense is going to win this game.
I'm with you on that now. I think if New England wins, I think it's going to be because Drake May has an unreal game. I think Seattle can win the game with Darnold having an okay performance and the defense just suffocating Drake May and not letting that offense do anything. Because I am concerned at what point. I think Diggs is going to have a day, but is Kayshon Boutte going to step up in the biggest moment? You're worried about the arm injury. He didn't pass very well against an elite Denver defense.
That's all it takes in a Super Bowl is one drop pass, one missed throw, one slightly late throw, one fumble.
I'm going Darnold because of this, because I think Darnold's a better player, and Darnold has been tested in the playoffs. The whole Drake May run, everyone really they haven't. The Chargers never, even though that game was close, they were never tested in that game. Houston was completely out of it. Even in the first half, it was kind of close, but you never felt like they had a shot. And Denver was not putting any pressure offensively. So I think Darnold's more tested for this game. I'm going to go with Sam Darnold.
If Darnold screws this up, if he has a bad performance, like say his defense plays awesome, gets them the ball back a couple times.
But are we crushing Sam Darnold if he loses this game? I don't think so.
It'd be kind of hard not to.
I just feel like he's already proven himself. To get to a Super Bowl, not that fantasy football matters, but do you know that he was ranked 32nd on every single fantasy football chart coming into the season? And now he's starting in a Super Bowl and favored to win.
Sam Darnold was?
Yes.
That doesn't make sense. He was good last year.
But people, he thought he was an afterthought. They thought he was the Geno Smith going to Seattle. Like, yeah, they're going to draft a quarterback, and we'll see what he does. And then all of a sudden, no one picked Seattle to go to the playoffs this year.
No.
So I feel like he's just proven this wrong, beating the Niners, beating the Rams, especially. Like that game was on. They won because of him.
It was huge.
I'm going to go Darnold.
All right, what's next?
All right, let's go to San Diego State tomorrow night, taking on Air Force on the road. Obviously, heavy favorite in that one. What's your number one key to the game, and is it not enough for the Aztecs to just win the game? Do they have to win by a certain amount?
It's not enough to just win. Unfortunately, you would love to say that, and maybe in the SEC, in ACC, some of the bigger basketball conferences, it is just enough to go win, and that's no matter who you're playing in conference. That's not the case in the Mountain West, and that's not the case where the Aztecs are right now. I haven't looked at the latest bracketology from Joe Lenardi. I'll pull that up while I'm saying this. But the Aztecs are firmly as a bubble team can possibly be right now. And in large part, if that loss to Troy didn't exist, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. But you kind of need to go into the Air Force Academy, into Clune Arena, and win this game by 20+. I would honestly say I think that's the number. Just because of where San Diego State is right now. And it sucks that they're in that position. I think this team is better than what their net ranking, their KenPom ranking, their Lenardi bracketology is. But because of that Troy loss, you're in a situation where you can't have any more speed bumps. And if you would have beat Grand Canyon on the road, if you would have beat Utah State on the road, we're having a different conversation. But you dropped those two games also. So I think San Diego State needs to go in, and they need to clear what they're favored by at least 5 points. So right now, Lenardi bracketology, they're in that group of the first 4 out, which they've dropped since even their last game, the win over, who'd they just play at home? Wyoming. The win over Wyoming, they were still in that last group, the last 4 in. Right now, they're in the first 4 out. That's bubble.
It's hard with the Aztecs. I heard Schaefer talking about this yesterday. He's like, every team in the country goes, if you could take one loss back. But to your point about Troy, it is such a brutal loss, and it's hard to – they just shot unbelievable. And you give the Aztecs credit for taking it to double overtime and with Miles Bird hitting that shot. But
the crazy thing is San Diego State did not play bad in that game.
Right, Troy was just unbelievable.
Troy
they beat a lot of
night,
teams in that country. Right. And it's like the inverse of last year. Last year, they played great in the Players Era tournament early on in Vegas. And then it felt like they were kind of not surviving to get in March Madness, but that their best ball of the season was at the beginning. This year is the opposite. They started off not great, and you're kind of wondering, like, this team had massive expectations. What's going on? And they've been really good in Mountain West Conference play outside of a tough loss in Utah State, which they were in that game, in a brutal call at the end of Grand Canyon. It just is a bummer that, to your point about Lenardi, first 4 out right now, those losses at the beginning of the year are making them almost have to play perfect basketball the rest of the way out. And to your point, you got to beat Air Force bad tomorrow night. There's really no excuse.
And the bad part about where San Diego State is right now, they're 43 in net. I think they're 43 or 44 in KenPom as well. But the bad part about this is if you win by 7 tomorrow at the Air Force Academy, which, by the way, Air Force doesn't have a win in conference yet this year. They're not very good. You should be able to win this game by 20. But we know the history between these two teams. Air Force has made it tough on San Diego State. They play a 2-3 zone. They have the weird Princeton-style offense that you could just get burned on back cuts at any given time. The bad news is if this is a 7-point win, which you can absolutely see happening, they drop from first 4 out down to next 4 out. They drop from 43 down to 47. They drop from 42 in the net down to 48. Like, there's just problems that come with a close win at Air Force that you need to try to avoid. So this has to be the most focused the Aztecs have been all season. By the way, Magungwath, LZ Harrington probably won't be playing in this game either because there's a bye week right after it. So you have 7 days after this one, but you got to go into Air Force and you got to win this thing by 20.
All right, let's head back to the NFL. So per Adam Schefter, as of a few minutes ago, Cliff Kingsbury is joining the Los Angeles Rams coaching staff. He is not necessarily the offensive coordinator. They're still working out what it's going to be. Are you surprised, though, that Kingsbury was not looked at more for a head coaching opportunity or an OC somewhere else?
God, I love this move for Cliff Kingsbury. If you're in his camp, if you're Cliff Kingsbury's agent, this is exactly what you want. Every offensive coordinator under Sean McVay has gone on to be a head coach to this point in his career. He's is he over a decade in now as the head coach of the Rams? I think it was 2016 that he got hired. Every offensive coordinator he's had has gone on to become a head coach. If Kingsbury can work his way up to OC, you said he's not the offensive coordinator.
They're still talking about his role right now.
If he can work his way up to OC, I would imagine he is on the short list with Mike McDaniel and a couple other guys around football right now to be in next year's group of hiring to be a head coach. Kingsbury probably should have gotten more looks at being a head coach this year. But I think the stink from the Arizona Cardinals time and how that relationship ended is still on him. I thought that would wear off based on what he did with the Washington Commanders, but I guess it hasn't. And so a year, 2 years with McVay, he's going to be right back in the conversation.
Well, I think it was always this thought of you have to just accept an NFL head coaching job. Like that was kind of, if you have an opportunity, go there. Look how many people withdrew from the Cleveland Browns head coaching search.
I do the same thing.
Mike McDaniel certainly could have got a job.
What job would you rather have? Cleveland Browns head coach, Rams offensive coordinator.
Because you're going to be the top of the heap next year. Mike McDaniel was a genius for going to the Chargers. I mean, the Chargers are going to have a great offense next year, and he's going to be the top head coaching candidate. There's a reason why Mike Tomlin knew John Harbaugh was probably going to go get the Giants job, which people were excited about. Mike Tomlin doesn't want to go waste away in Cleveland or Arizona or something. Sorry to our Cardinals and Browns fans if there's any here, but I mean the history there isn't very good for having a sustainable career as a head coach. So I think people are looking at OC jobs and I'm going to pick and choose my job, and I think that's what Kingsbury and McDaniel are doing.
Steve Hartman, 15 minutes. Text line real quick here, 619. I believe this is our buddy Quack, so I'll do the noise, I guess. Oh, yeah. Fletch, come cheer for the Seahawks and join the dark side.
Quacked.
If only you knew the power. I'm not cheering for the Seahawks. Not going to happen. Not now, not ever.
Quacked on Padres. I'm with you.
Richard Sherman's the only person on the planet who can root for the Seahawks and the Niners. I don't get how he does it. 858, can you read back long shots? We'll get that on the other side. And then we have someone bragging about a massive bet that he made the other day. Congratulations, 858. All right, Steve Hartman in 15 minutes. Coming up next, let's get into that Aztecs game a little bit more. Plus, Padres news if you missed it. And what else we got, Sammy? Do we have something else here?
No, I think the Padres and Aztecs.
That's it. Padres news coming up next. This one's a little bit of a shocker here at this point in the season. Plus, pizza. Can't wait for it. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. San Diego Sports 760, Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. Jonathan Rifkin going to be taking over then. We are at KNB BISTRO in Del Cerro. If you want to swing by, I'm going to hang out for probably 30, 45 minutes after the show. Grab some of this wonderful pizza from Del Cerro Pizza and Beer. It is free for you. So swing on by, pick up some pizza, grab a beer, hang out with me and Sammy for a little bit. And have a good time, huh? We got Steve Hartman coming up in about 10 minutes. We also have a pair of Aztecs basketball tickets to give away for Valentine's Day. It's going to be Grand Canyon. It's going to be San Diego State at Viejas Arena. Going to be an excellent game. And by the way, we do congratulate all of our $5,000 winners in iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. There's still time for you to nominate a public school teacher who's making a difference. Maybe they'll be one of our next winners of 5Gs to help make over their classroom. Help us say thank you to the educators that are shaping our future. Nominate your favorite teacher now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers. All right, if you missed the news, Dennis Lin of The Athletic, he was actually the first guy to talk about the fact that the Padres had met with Joe Lacob. He had an article out yesterday saying not only have they met with Joe Lacob, but he also confirmed the other two guys, Dan Friedkin and Jose Feliciano. He also said that they could start accepting bids by the end of February, which means the Padres could potentially be sold in the season this year for the San Diego Padres, which that brings in a whole nother batch of issues. Coach Quintera, I credit him with saying this, but as long as the off-the-field stuff doesn't impact the on-the-field stuff, and I would say over the last couple of years, it really has, starting with the death of Peter Seidler, followed by the lawsuit. Like, I do think that there's been a bit of a cloud hanging over the Padres as all the fans have expected all of this to start happening. But here we are. Padres are going to be sold, and it looks like it's going to be one of three guys. And what's crazy is it looks like this could be on a really accelerated timeline here.
I don't think it will affect on the field. You know what I mean? I don't see why, if you're Manny Machado or Fernando Tatis, you would really care about this. Like, I mean, obviously you care, but this whole, it's going to affect the team a little bit. During the season, those guys are going to be focused on trying to win a championship and doing what's in front of them. I'm excited for it. I'm glad the process is happening because obviously when it came out that they were going to sell the team, it's like, well, then just do it. Like, my thing was, if you're not interested in being the owner of the San Diego Padres and you're like, I'm out of this business. John Seidler certainly hasn't shown the proclivity of Peter Seidler to want to bring this city a championship, then just get out of the business. And I commend him for that. I'm not even trying to rip John Seidler. John Seidler didn't ask for this. John Seidler got this, with the unfortunate passing of Peter, got this dropped in his hands. So I appreciate them for kind of moving on this. And if all three of these guys are interested and you got a little bit of a bidding war happening, it would be awesome for new ownership to kind of get going here before next season with a potential lockout.
I'm starting to get a little more excited about this because we're learning more about some of the names who are interested in buying the Padres. Here's what I will say. Peter Seidler, one of the last things that we heard from him was he wants the Padres to stay in the Seidler family for generations to come. He said generations plural, meaning his kids, his kids' kids, and all his future great-great-grandkids. He wanted to have the San Diego Padres. Obviously, that's not going to happen. So strike one against John Seidler. It already feels like a bit of a slap in the face. The 2 years, almost to the day after his passing, you were talking about selling the team publicly. If you're going to screw that part up, don't screw this part up. If you're going to sell the team, do the due diligence. Don't just go to the highest bidder. Go to the guy or the gal or the group or the conglomerate that wants to move on with Peter's message and what he wanted for the San Diego Padres and trying to win a World Series. And really, I promise you, for this fan base, it takes one World Series. It takes winning one, and you will be loved forever in this market. And if whoever comes in isn't on with that, then the Seidler family, the Seidler reputation outside of Peter will forever have a stain on it here in San Diego. If you do sell it to someone who, A, wants to move the team, God forbid, B, doesn't want to make it competitive, just wants to collect a paycheck. So if you're already going to screw up part of Peter's legacy by saying you're going to move on and get it out of the Seidler family, don't screw up part two. Don't screw up the part where whoever comes in is a crappy owner. Make sure who's coming in isn't just the highest bidder, but someone who's willing to put in the money, put in the work, put in the effort to bring this city, which is so deserving, an actual championship.
Right. Well, and to that point, it's like It's sad. It's sad, of course. I understand people being sad that it's Peter Seidler and he wanted it to be passed down on his family, and it's not going to. But to that end, if John Seidler and them really are not interested in making this team a legit competitor and not just running the same team back every year with, hey, there's a shot if they get in, really making it hard to ignore the San Diego Padres, then it is his duty to sell the team. So I give him credit in that regard. I hope this happens as soon as possible, and you can kind of get on with this thing, and another question will be answered. Just like we want the AJ Preller contract to get signed, we want all these kind of extracurricular activities off the field to get resolved, so they can just focus on playing baseball and trying to win.
Sammy, pull up long shots so we can get that for our texter from the 858, and then I'll read this. Different 858 numbers sending in. John, quote, IDGAF Seidler will absolutely just be looking for the highest bidder. Man, then I hope the highest bidder is Dan Friedkin, and I hope he continues on with the legacy. Dude was born in San Diego. He would be doing himself a serious disservice by throwing out a non-competitive team year after year. But that is the fear here with the San Diego Padres. I still can't decide if I think it's a good thing or a bad thing that all of this is happening right now. I'm starting to lean towards good thing, but only if the owner is committed. Sammy, what do we have for long shots?
We got Rashid Shaheed, more than 31.5 rush and receiving yards. Obviously in the Super Bowl, a lot of trick plays. He's the burner down the sideline. Christian Gonzalez is going to be busy with JSN. Shaheed's going to have a big moment in this game. Ramondre Stevenson, more than 14.5 rush attempts. They're going to try to pound that rock, I think. And Stephon Diggs going to be guarded by Nick Emanwari, who injured his ankle on Wednesday in practice. Still expected to play for the Super Bowl and suit up, but Diggs going to have more than 4.5 receptions.
We're here on air for another 30 minutes. We'll be here for another hour or so. Swing on by KNB BISTRO in Del Cerro. We got free pizza for you. We got Aztecs football tickets for you. Get on over here and hang out for a little bit. We'd love to say hi. Coming up next, Steve Hartman for his normal Friday slot on the show. Let's see what Steve's up to on the Super Bowl Friday. That's next, live on the iHeartRadio app. Hey, it's Fletch for Valley View Casino and Hotel. Look, if you're looking for a spot to watch the big game, get on out to Valley View Casino and Hotel. They got TVs everywhere. The main stage bar and grill will have the game going the whole time. So get out there and join Valley View Casino and Hotel, especially coming up on Friday, February 13th. It's the Dave's $250,000 weekend windfall. You could be one of 10 guests who's going to spin the wheel to win $25,000. That's right. 10 guests could walk away with $25,000 each. Plus, more plays going to be awarded throughout the night. That's free slot play. You can earn entries all month long through slot or table game play. Activate your entry multiplier at our guest service kiosk located throughout the casino. And then on Friday, February 13th, from 5 to 10, your chance to win a share of $250,000. Don't miss out. Visit Valley View Casino and Hotel on Friday, February 13th for Dave's $250,000 weekend windfall, and join the Ultimate Players Club to get over $200 in free offers today. To learn more, visit valleyviewcasino.com. All guests 21 and over are invited to enjoy the casino, hotel, and restaurants.
Yeah, I know. It's so nice when they remodeled the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Sammy, it's your update.
All right, this sports sponsored by Audible. Lakers big win over the 76ers last night, 119 to 115. Luka Doncic injured himself, but his MRI is expected to be okay. I think he won't miss much time, but he should be out for Saturday's showdown against Golden State. Aztecs back tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, taking on Air Force. Hear that game right here on San Diego Sports 760 with Schaefer on the call. Fletch, you get you going pregame started at 4, and Super Bowl Sunday is almost here. Seahawks favored by 4.5 against New England. That game gets going at 3:30. If you're stuck in traffic, why not take care of you? Who better to help you than that? Than the top voices in well-being on Audible. Get your first audiobook free when you sign up for a 30-day trial at audible.com/wellbeing.
San Diego Sports 760, Ben Fletcher, Sammy along with you till 2 o'clock today. Jonathan Rifkin going to be filling in for John Schaefer today on John's show. Text from the 858 says, I'm sticking Seattle money line and under 46.5 points for a 2.5 times payout. LFG Super Bowl weekend. Thanks for the great season and can't wait for Monday's crash out episode when Seattle wins and Fletch cries. I understand it's more likely Seattle's going to win the game, all right? But I can root the other direction. We just got a bunch of the boys from Society Brewery in the house. What's up, guys? Thanks for stopping by. We got Casey and a bunch of the boys. And Jamar.
Our guy Jamar just got here.
Where'd Jamar go?
My man's in the gym. Jamar does not skip leg day.
Every time I see Jamar, he's bigger and not fat, like stronger. Jamar is huge now. So congratulations to him on just being like a sexy man god, I guess. Speaking of sexy man gods, the one and only Steve Hartman is here for his weekly chat. Steve, hi, how are you?
I'm doing great, guys. You know, Fletch, I'd asked Sammy to knock down a few brews for me while you're there. Has he done that?
We have not indulged at all, but
I'm sober right now.
We will be very, very soon, Steve. Don't worry. I think I've learned my lesson after years with Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Don't actually start drinking when Rich starts drinking because you will not survive the rest of the day. And you and I learned that lesson. We've gone out drinking with Big Rich Ornberger a couple times. It doesn't go well.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't go well. He's a big man. He can take a lot more alcohol. You know, guys, I want to jump in here just very quickly because obviously Super Bowl is on everybody's mind. And look, you know, guys, look at on paper, this should not be a contest. It really should. I mean, Seattle should win this game. And obviously, if Sam Darnold plays anything like he did against the Rams, this will be a no contest. But I want to go back in time a little bit because, you know, that's what I do. And I want to go back to a Super Bowl. It was held in New Orleans. It was right after 9/11. The security in New Orleans for the Super Bowl was absolutely freaking nuts. And we have what appeared to be a total mismatch on paper. The Rams were 2 years removed from a Super Bowl. They had bounced back. They were back in the Super Bowl. They were 2 touchdown favorites against this New England team with essentially a rookie quarterback, Tom Brady. They should have been eliminated in the first round. They got some gift with that tuck rule against the Raiders. So nobody took them seriously. But back in those days, we used to have the Hall of Fame coach, Hank Stram, used to come on, and he had like this 60-point, foolproof way of throwing numbers out and then coming away with a winner in the Super Bowl. We'd had Coach on for many years. He'd never missed. Most of the games are pretty predictable. So I was like, all right, Coach, what do you got for this game? And he says, well, I broke down all the numbers, and I got the New England Patriots winning. I almost fell out of my seat. I go, Coach, you better run those numbers again because there is no way. I mean, there is no way the New England Patriots are going to beat these St. Louis Rams. I mean, there's just no chance. And then it happened. So, I mean, when you get into a game like this, if Sam Darnold plays like he did against the Rams, Seattle wins. But if Sam Darnold has a meltdown under the bright lights of the Super Bowl, it's very conceivable that the Patriots may pull the upset.
Steve, you're not going to believe this, but by the time you started that story to now, I think I have had half a beer. So congratulations.
There you go. I wanted to make sure you got plenty of time to knock down a few.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Steve. Thank you for filling some time here. So you think there's absolutely a chance that my bet will work and the Patriots can win this game?
No, absolutely. I mean, let's put it this way. Drake May, during the regular season, completed 72% of his passes. In 3 playoff games, he's completed 55% of his passes. You know what is amazing? Patriots have won all 3 games. And also remember this. The Patriots have yet to lose a game away from home. Okay? So they were undefeated on the road during the regular season. They won at Denver. I know it wasn't a pretty game, and the weather played a big part in it. But the fact is they have yet to lose a game away from home the entire season. You know, these are 2 teams, guys, that both missed the playoffs a year ago. This hasn't happened since the Patriots-Panthers Super Bowl, the 5th time ever that we have a Super Bowl with 2 teams that both missed the playoffs from the previous year. So, Seattle, they're the 1 seed in the West. I get all that. They played in a tougher division. New England had the easiest schedule since, by the way, the 99 Rams, a team that actually ended up winning the Super Bowl. So, yeah, should Seattle be favored? Absolutely. Can New England win? Oh, yeah.
Steve, what are your thoughts on Stafford edging out May by 1 vote for MVP and Josh Allen and Justin Herbert getting votes yesterday?
Well, I mean, that was the difference, wasn't it? I mean, obviously, when there was amongst first place votes, a 1-vote difference between Stafford, I honestly thought Drake May was going to win it because I just kept hearing all these, pundits saying, he did this and everything else. And, I'm like, against the easiest schedule in the history of the last 26 years of any team in the NFL. How do you not take into account that Matthew Stafford obviously played in a much tougher division in the NFC West? So I think they got the vote right, but the guy that voted for Justin Herbert, I could get the Josh Allen 2 votes, but the guy that voted for Herbert actually had been touting Herbert all season long. The guy's not a hypocrite. He had been saying literally all season long after the injuries on the offensive line that no player was more valuable to their team, more responsible for their team making the postseason than Justin Herbert. So at least the guy wasn't a hypocrite, but there's no question that 1 vote probably cost Drake May the MVP award.
It's crazy. It really is. Steve, you're an expert on many things. Obviously dating. You're pretty good at that. Sports radio, the history of all sports, but you're also an expert on food. And I don't know how many people know that about Steve Hartman, but he's absolutely foodie. Loves to pair up different steaks with different wines. Steve, what is on the menu for your Super Bowl Sunday?
Well, it's a weird thing because so many times, guys, I end up working on Super Bowl Sunday in television. I am not working Sunday night, so I got a 5-hour radio show leading up to the Super Bowl on Super Bowl Sunday for Fox Sports Radio, and then I'm racing home. I'm going to have a glass of. Honestly, it's going to be low key. I don't have anybody here to actually watch the game with. I do have a good bottle of wine that I'm definitely going to enjoy. But I don't have anything planned yet. I wish that I had Rich at my disposal, because Rich that guy really knows how to put it together. And by the way, our national show, BJ Husky, my partner, he knows all about, we're going to break it down. Like, what's the best food for Super Bowl? So I'll turn it back at you. I mean, what is the absolute must-have eats on Super Bowl Sunday? What is the absolute must-have?
Now, everyone's going to say wings, and I get that. And I love wings. I'm all good with them. But I will say, if it's a Super Bowl Sunday, I'm going away from the wings, and I'm going to a little pizza, and I'm also going potato skins. Potato skins are one of my favorite foods on the planet, and I never get to eat them. But on Super Bowl Sunday, someone's bringing them. And I'm doing something new this year, Steve, because we're going to a potluck-type party. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a pack of the Hawaiian rolls, that Eli Manning always talks about on TV.
Slider action, man. Slider action.
Well, here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take a little bit out of the top. I'm going to make a little like Grand Canyon in the top of one of those sweet Hawaiian rolls, put a little smoky in there, cover it with cheese, and bake it. How's that sound?
Wow. A novel idea. Sounds absolutely freaking delicious. Look, sliders are always good. I'm with you. First of all, if you're going to have wings, you have to have pizza. To me, wings and pizza go together. So wings and pizza, if you're going to go that combo, are an absolute must. But I love sliders, especially with those Hawaiian rolls. Yum, yum, yum. With all the goodies on it. See, now I got to put this all together. I got to convince I hope one of my boys is here. Certainly my daughter, I hope, because she can cook. We're going to put together something here, but you're giving me plenty of ideas right now. Alcohol, though, is the key ingredient on any Super Bowl Sunday. Actually, it's a key ingredient on almost every single day of the week, but some level of alcohol is all good.
Steve, we got a bunch of guys from Society Brewing Company here today who are hanging out with us, and they just gave us this beer. But when I think about their next T-shirt, I'm going to say alcohol is the key ingredient in everything. Steve Hartman, Michael Jordan. Yeah, exactly.
By the way, guys, I have over the many years I've done this. I've done a lot of appearances, as you know, at bars and everything else. And yes, there have been times where I have overindulged. Do you remember the time when Schaefer and Rich and I were doing the show together? They brought in like these pints of beer as we sat down to do the radio show. You should have seen Schaefer. Schaefer was downing that thing. He was swimming in beer that day. He was absolutely obliterated. You don't think that of John Schaefer, but I'm telling you, that day he rocked a good. I'm not going to say a liter, but it was a good pint of solid beer that he knocked down quite quickly. I was very impressed.
Now he's on to hard kombucha.
Yeah.
Now he doesn't do alcohol. But Steve, what's your Super Bowl MVP Sunday? Who you betting on?
All right, if the New England Patriots win, the Super Bowl MVP will be Hunter Henry. That's right, the former Charger tight end, now in his 10th league. He will score 2 touchdowns in the red zone. Drake May will get it to him. He's going to end up with like 8 catches for 100 yards. Seattle is going to lose sight of him. So if New England wins, it's going to be Hunter Henry. And, of course, the only time Seattle won the Super Bowl, they had a complete no-name guy win the MVP award. So I'm going to say, you know what? If Seattle wins, it's going to be with a running game. Kenneth Walker's been on fire. So if Seattle wins, it'll be Kenneth Walker. But if the Patriots win, it will not be Drake May. It'll be Hunter Henry.
See, this is why I love Steve Hartman, because neither of the betting favorites to win Super Bowl MVP even came close to his mind. This is not a quarterback-led game, Steve. That's what you're saying here.
It is not a quarterback. It's the most dull quarterback matchup I can ever imagine between Drake May and Sam Darnold. Neither one of these guys, mark my words, will end up as Super Bowl MVP.
Steve, you're the absolute greatest. That's why we love you. That's why we have you on every single week. Thank you, pal, and we'll see you very soon.
All right, enjoy the brew, guys. Love you, and have a good time out there.
KNB Bistro in Del Cerro. That was Steve Hartman for his weekly appearance. Sammy and I were going to completely clear the decks, but we can't leave Steve off. So that was Steve. This is us. We'll be back. We'll close out the show with our official game picks. Plus, Sammy is going to tell you what the color of the Gatorade will be that gets dumped on the coach. He's done the math. He's cracked the code. We'll tell you on the other side. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. It's 60 for a final time today. It's Ben Fletcher and Sammy Long live from KNB Bistro in Del Cerro. A huge thank you to everybody who showed up today to help us out doing the show today. Also, Tony Kanja, Lydia Kanja, for opening up their restaurant to us today and allowing us to spend literally 7 hours here from Big Red Stadium Fletch first thing in the morning to me and Sammy here today. Couldn't be more thrilled with that. Del Cerro Pizza and Beer for providing some pizza for everybody here. It's really good, and most of it's gone at this point. The Society Boys for swinging on by.
Yes, sir.
Rich, Tim, Alicia, Jay Sills, Jamar, who stopped by, and everybody else. We appreciate the heck out of you.
Means the world.
Right now, we're going to stop down for a second because something important has to happen. Sam, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, lend me your ears. Forget the rocket scientists. Forget Wall Street funds. Forget every so-called expert who has ever tried to predict anything, because Sammy Long is ready. He has literally cracked the cosmic code of the universe. This is the guy who doesn't just read algorithms. No, he deciphers their language. You remember that movie with Benedict Cumberbatch where he was trying to figure out
the Imitation Game?
That one? That's Sammy Long right now. He's been playing five-dimensional chess. Mark my words, Sammy doesn't just forecast the Super Bowl Gatorade color. He knows the Super Bowl Gatorade color. Sammy, you're going to turn thousandaires into millionaires. You're going to turn pennies into dimes. What is the color of the Super Bowl Gatorade?
This is the bet you make when you've lost all the other ones and you want to get your money back before the night is done. Okay, maybe your Super Bowl squares didn't come through, maybe your game picks, whatever. So the Super Bowl Gatorade color is very important. The favorite is orange right now.
Really?
Going off at plus 220. So
that's like the worst Gatorade.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be dousing orange Gatorade. Orange Gatorade plus 220 has been used 5 times. Okay, so they're going off the history. 5 times has been the orange, but we're gonna go a little risky. We're gonna go plus 260. Give us blue has been used 4 times throughout the history of the Super Bowl. We're going plus 260 odds. What do we have here? Wow, fantastic. We're getting served drinks right now.
Blue Gatorade, and you stand right over there. You're going to jump on the mic,
Yes,
Gabe.
hop on here.
Sammy, finish your thought on Blue Gatorade.
Blue Gatorade has been used 4 different times. Do not fall for the red and pink at plus 700. It has never been done. Get the odds at plus 260 for Blue Gatorade going off in the Super Bowl for the Super Bowl winning head coach.
I like it. Blue Gatorade. Everyone locking in on that? We're all good with it? Blue Gatorade. Gabe, right?
Yes, sir.
Gabe, just talk right into that thing. Thank you for having us today. You work at KNB Bistro.
Pleasure having you guys as always.
Man, we've had a blast. It's been a long day. We were here like 4:30 this morning. We made a mess out of this place. We cleaned it up, and now we made a little bit of a mess out of it again. So thank you.
It's not a problem, and again, I appreciate you guys being here as always. I pretty much just followed you. I was here an hour after you guys got here.
Yeah.
So we're all in this together. This is compliments of my friend Tim.
Tim, our guy.
What is it?
And I don't know if I can say it on the air.
We'll put
it's a
up
BJ
to the
shot.
Yeah.
That's what it is. All right. Well, I'm not doing it the way you did it in college, but I will take it. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate you, brother.
This is fantastic.
I guess I know.
And it's really good.
I know we needed a drink here and there, so hopefully
that is damn tasty.
That's really good.
Man,
fantastic.
Tim, thank you.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you wanted us to do these off of you. That'd be weird. Okay.
That would be a little.
Just making sure.
My grandparents are here.
But appreciate it. And it was very tasty. So nice work making it. Thank you, man.
We have to get going, but again, appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for coming in. Everybody that's listening on the radio, KNB is the place to go.
Yes, sir.
The place
to go.
I call it the Hogwarts of liquor, but they got awesome food too. Mad Brussels are my favorite. The burgers are great. Get on by here. Actually, the pasta is a sneaky favorite of mine.
This place is unbelievable, man.
Get on. Go ahead.
No, it's just like a heaven of liquor.
Heaven of liquor. That's not bad. Get on down to KNB Bistro. Buy yourself some Society while you're here. Huh? Some Pupil, my favorite beer in San Diego, and enjoy everything they have to offer. Big thanks to Tony. Big thanks to Lydia. Big thanks to Brent back in the studio. Thank you, Brent.
Brent Sperry. Crack a mic. No, okay.
Okay. John.
Orange Gatorade's the best, by the way.
Orange Gatorade is not the best, Brent. It is not the best. It's the worst flavor. It's slightly better than cucumber
Brent,
Gatorade,
you got to take the
which is
odds
nasty.
at plus 260. Patriots, if they win, blue.
I mean, taste, not bet.
All right. Jonathan Rifkin is coming up next. Thank you to everybody who was a part of this today. We love you. We will see you on Monday. Oh, before we go, got to pick the winner for the Aztecs basketball tickets. Let's see. Is Tim still here? Tim O.
Tim.
Nuh-uh.
Tim,
You just bought us the
I
shot.
promise he didn't bribe us. It was a legit pull.
You just won some Aztecs basketball tickets for next Saturday's game. Congratulations to Tim. All right, we'll see y'all on Monday. Have fun at the Super Bowl party. Be safe. We love you. Bye.